You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Welcome to the Voice of Charity. I'm Phil Zepeda here along with my colleague Katie Bredemann. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, Phil.
And we're thrilled to be with everyone, all of you, all of our listeners on WNDZ 750 AM radio this morning, and those of you who are watching our live stream on YouTube at Catholic Chicago, which is the account for the Archdiocese of Chicago. So recently here on the Voice of Charity, we dedicated a show to providing an update on Catholic Charities' domestic violence programming. And in particular, we discussed how two of our transitional housing programs, our residences, and our community-based programs and services give women and children the tools they need to recover from the trauma they've experienced in domestic violence situations and plan for a safer, happier future. For that show, we welcomed Aida Segura, who is the program director of Catholic Charities House of Peace, one of our two transitional housing residences for victims of domestic violence.
Right, Phil. And also joining us on that show was a current House of Peace resident named Sarah He. And she's recovering right now from a domestic violence experience herself. As often happens when we're talking about complex issues such as family violence, our discussion went beyond the 30 minutes that's allotted for the show. And so we've invited Aida and Sarah He back on the show today to continue our conversation and help us all grow in our understanding for what is a very long and difficult journey for all those who discover over time or suddenly that they are not living in a safe environment. So
we welcome back Aida and Sarah He. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Wonderful to be with you.
Well, we're thrilled to have you join again. So kind of this is the part two of our conversation, right, from our previous conversation. But we want to start with a reminder for folks who may have not joined us last time. Can you remind our audience about the goals of the House of Peace and how you respond to women and families who approach us for services and for help?
Absolutely, yes. So the House of Peace offers an oasis of recovery and growth after traumatizing circumstances. It models, of course, it models the way the community life encourages collaboration, inspiring hope, and far beyond its residents. So because the House of Peace model is an intentional community of growth, prospective residents must be ready and willing and able to internalize all the services that we offer. So women and staff engage in this mutual discernment of working with the reality of each woman's situation and proposing a plan for transformation through incremental change. So the model is very simple and yet very, I would say, holistic and organic. We make a clear a mutual commitment to one another, emphasizing, of course, dignity and healing. We also believe in transformation through incremental change. So bit by bit, this through the intake process, women receive a holistic self-sufficiency matrix to dialogue about the different aspects of their lives, whether it's housing, whether it's security, education, employment, financial stability. And this allows us to chart their progress in each area over the course of the 6 months stay at the House of Peace. Another important core value is the agency of women. We in the House of Peace believe that, community calls an extensive ethos of service. And the program cultivates, of course, a kind of solidarity that empowers women, victims of domestic violence, as survivors, because they are overcoming something very critical in their lives. So we want to focus on that, the resources already that people have to face and overcome these situations.
And so
also, the circular.
Please go
The
ahead.
circular community, which, in which the spirit of generosity prevails. We believe also, and it's very important to us, that each member of the community take a vital role in community functions, so including healthy meal preparation, artistic expression, and spiritual growth. So each of these areas allows women to offer up their creativity and care to their families and their community as large. So consistent with our cultural heritage, women share love in the kitchen and around the table, building community rituals, integrating faith commitments, and reinforcing community values. All of those are so essential core values that allows us to function as a healthy, intentional community that promotes healing, empowerment, and that sustain those changes that you began in these 6 months of transformation. And finally, the long-term sustainability. These habits grow over the course of these 6 months, but they need to be nourished and supported. So we have our aftercare program, which is the Phoenix program, which continues being, a community of reference for all of these women after they leave House of Peace. So it's a very vital operation that, feed itself from so many wonderful sources. We come from a Catholic tradition, so our Catholic social teachings are essential to the way we operate. We believe in the life and dignity of every human being. We believe in the community and the participation and responsibility of everyone and protecting those that are most vulnerable. The special preferential option for the poor, for those who are less equipped with everything that they need in order to go through life, just like, the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Beautifully said, Aida. And of course, the House of Peace is in Lake County, and Catholic Charities House of Good Shepherd is in Cook County. So these are our two transitional housing residences where women and their children can experience live in an environment with comprehensive services for up to 6 months, and really get the tools they need to restart a safer, happier future. And you describe a beautiful community feeling within the House of Peace, Aida. I wonder if you could also share a little bit about some of our community partners that Catholic Charities works with to assist domestic violence survivors.
Absolutely. We've been we opened in 2011. We have 12 years of experience, and this has allowed us also to establish very strong connection and partnerships in Lake County and beyond. We work very closely, for instance, with ACES, a non-for-profit organization dedicated to specifically address the issues of immigration and naturalization. Since many of our clients are Latinos, and many might be newcomers or in the process of adjusting status, it's important to have these allies. We also work with Mano a Mano, and they assist us with many pro bono lawyers throughout the years of service, helping women not only with family law, but also some, immigration, asylum, whatever it is that the client bring to us in terms of legal matters. We obviously work with other domestic violence, providers of services like Safe Place in the court house. We are well known there because we bring our clients and to have an educational and informational session before they make their legal decisions. And also, of course, with the Lake County Health Department, since we need to, work within a frame of also crisis intervention, and it's important to have these connections to the key players in the community. Our parish is essential, our parish connection, since we occupy the old rectory. And so our relationship also with the community of faith is very important, because women seek and they thirst for this spiritual nourishment to hold them throughout this time of their lives. So that's very important.
So such a beautiful example of that. You mentioned that holistic approach. It's just so beautiful, and thank you for helping us, reset and getting a really full understanding of what it takes, that community village to manage a program like this. I wanna transition us and welcome Sarah He to join us. And for our listeners, Aida is going to help us with some translation for some answers. We're providing questions to Sarah He, who came through this program and still participates with our program. So we're grateful, Sarah He, that you've joined us once again. So my first question is for our listeners and for Sarah He, is that when you joined us for the first show, you said that once you needed assistance, you called and you spoke with Aida before you moved out of your home, and that's that circumstance. Can you describe for us what factors finally made you leave, and the types of services that were available to you once you arrived at the House of Peace?
Saraí, te está preguntando el señor Phil si es que no, la primera cosa que tú hiciste cuando tomaste tu decisión fue tener conversación conmigo sobre violencia doméstica, pero también él quiere saber qué factores te ayudaron a tomar la decisión final de salir de la situación de abuso.
Buenos días. Bueno, me di cuenta que estaba lista cuando no solo yo quería salir de la relación, sino que también mi hija de tan solo 9 años me pidió que dejara a su papá Para mí eso fue el factor más que me decidió a salir de la relación y del abuso.
Saraí dice que para ella fue un momento muy importante y muy decisivo, cuando no solo ella quería salir de la relación de abuso, pero su niña de tan solo 9 años le pidió a su mamá dejar salir de esa situación. Phil, if you want to restate a certain part of the question, I can put it back to Sarai.
Yeah, so and once you're able to share back Sarah He's comments, I think getting an understanding of what put her in before us as Catholic Charities colleagues, as someone that we could provide services to, what types of programs and services Sarah He was able to get once she began working with you.
Phil pregunta a Saraí, ¿qué servicios, qué ayudas recibiste tú en la Casa de la Paz que te ayudaron?
Ok, pues en la Casa de la Paz, pues qué servicios, pues fue
recibiste cuando estabas allí.
Pues recibí la terapia, el cariño, la comprensión de toda la comunidad, de la casa, sentir por primera vez la paz, la comprensión dentro de la comunidad. Mientras yo trabajaba, mis hijas estaban seguras y felices participando en actividades saludables. Nunca más tenía que ver o sentir violencia. Recibir el apoyo y la diferencia de los aspectos, por ejemplo, los tutores, las actividades, el arte, el grupo Fénix, sentirnos parte de la comunidad de cariño y la solidaridad.
Gracias, Sarai. Sarai said that what she received during the time in the House of Peace was first an experience of community, a community of, she uses the word cariño in Spanish, which means affection and understanding for where she and her daughters were at. She also received, of course, service of therapy. She received the peace of mind to know that their daughters and her will not experiencing violence anymore. peace and what it meant to live in peace again within the embrace of a community that was very nourishing, very supportive. And especially for her, that was an incredible opportunity to kind of reset her life. So she values tremendously the love and care of an intentional community of healing that she was part of when she lived at the House of Peace.
Just remarkable, and thank you for that translation. We want to have more with Aida and Sarah He. We're gonna take a brief break, but please continue to stay with us and join us for the remainder of this conversation. We'll have more questions for Sarah He and with the help of Aida. So stay tuned. You're listening to the Voice of Charity.
Caring adults make all the difference in the lives of adolescents. Catholic Charities understands this, and our mentorship programs provide a free opportunity for young adults to spend time with volunteers who genuinely care about them. This program is ideal for youth aged 9 through 12 who may need support navigating the challenges of childhood and early adolescence. Our amazing volunteers serve as friends who help youth recognize their strengths and empower them to reach their full potential. Catholic Charities conducts a thorough background check on every volunteer, and our program coordinator closely monitors and supports every relationship. Mentoring is a fun after-school program that can help young adults build confidence and enjoy fun activities with their peers, too. To learn more, visit CatholicCharities.net or call 312-655-7970 in Cook County and 847-782-4224 in Lake County. We're connecting youth with great role models. Join us today.
Make a difference every day by working in Archdiocese of Chicago schools, parishes, and ministries. Join us at our career fair on Saturday, February 25th in downtown Chicago. We are hiring full and part-time positions for roles from teaching to finance, administration to pastoral care throughout Cook and Lake counties. If you have recently graduated or are exploring a job change, serve your community and build your career with the Arch. Find more information at archchicago.org.
For more than 20 years, Catholic Charities Adult Protective Services has been advocating for seniors who are the victims of abuse, neglect, confinement, or financial exploitation. With our partners at local, city, and state agencies, our trained case managers follow through on every concern that is brought to our attention in a cooperative way to ensure that our seniors are safe and protected. According to the Illinois Department on Aging, last year nearly 21,000 cases of elder abuse were reported in Illinois. Of these, only 5% were reported by seniors themselves. So raising awareness is an important part of this issue. If you are concerned about a senior you know, call 800-252-8966. That's 800-252-8966. With your help, we can stop elder abuse and look out for the seniors in our lives. Welcome back to the Voice of Charity. I'm joined with Katie Bredemann. You're listening on WNDZ. We're glad to have you with us. We're continuing our conversation on the domestic violence supports provided by Catholic Charities, and we're joined with Aida Segura from the House of Peace, and one of our lovely survivors of domestic violence who's traveled with us, and we have traveled with her, whose name is Sarah He. Just to kind of reframe our conversation before we get into some more questions and answers with Sarah He, with the help of Aida, I just want to frame this. You know, as we discussed previously on the Voice of Charity, according to the Illinois Coalition Against Domestic Violence, Domestic violence is the leading cause of injury to women in the United States. A woman is beaten every 15 seconds. And on a national level, it's estimated that there are between 2 and 4 million incidences of domestic violence every year in the United States. Think about the impact that it has on women. Also think about the impact that that has on children, correct?
You're so right, Phil. And Sarah, before the break, you were kind enough to share a little bit about what your experience has been at the House of Peace. We're wondering how your daughters are doing now. How many daughters do you have, and how old are they? And can we ask what your plans are for the future for you and your daughters?
Saraí, Katie pregunta, ¿cómo están tus hijas ahora? ¿Cuántas son ellas en primer lugar? ¿Y cómo están ahora después de todo este tiempo? ¿Y cuáles son algunas de las metas que tú quieres para ellas y para ti?
Ok, bueno, tengo dos niñas, una ahora tiene 19 y la otra tiene 14. La mayor estudió en Cristo Rey, es una de las secundarias católicas aquí en Waukegan, y ahora está estudiando en un colegio de Universidad Loyola en Chicago. Ella está avanzando en sus metas personales. La menor está empezando la secundaria y ha sido un poco más difícil para ella lidiar con los desafíos emocionales. La violencia de los años pasados marcó su vida y aún está luchando para superar esto. En su memoria dolorosa, para actualmente está en una terapia de ayuda personal y esperamos que continúe avanzando.
Gracias, Saraí. Saraí comparte que tiene dos niñas y una de ellas pudo asistir a la secundaria católica aquí en... I'm sorry, I'm talking in Spanish to you. I am supposed to translate it to English.
Of course. Thank you, Aida.
That's
Thank
all right.
you so much.
She's sharing that she has two beautiful daughters, and one of them, the oldest, was able to attend our Catholic school here, Cristo Rey, in Waukegan. Thanks to that choice of education that was also, provided by connections with the community, right? She's now attending a Rupic College of Loyola University, Chicago. She is doing wonderful. She's moving ahead in reaching her goals. The youngest one, she is starting high school, and she has struggled a little bit more with emotional baggage from all of those past years. However, they look at the future with a lot of hope. She's engaged in an individual therapy experience, and has been able to do this with Catholic Charities, and she's moving through it. And that's one of the things, that family becomes the conduit to continue sustaining the healing necessary for those that are most vulnerable. And of course, those years that they lived with violence have impacted all of them, some more than others. And that's the experience that Sharai is sharing about her two daughters.
Please.
And the importance of basically provide a sustainable support so that healing could be, make her youngest daughter stronger and healthier with time.
Please tell Sarah that we think she's very brave and inspiring, and it sounds like the three of them are a wonderful team.
Saraí, Katie quiere que sepas que eres muy inspiradora y que tú y tus hijas son un verdadero equipo.
I'd like to ask for Sarah one more question. With going to school and raising children, I'd really love to know how she's managing, how she's juggling the responsibilities of self-care and then progressing with her life.
Phil pregunta, Saraí, ¿cómo es que tú estás balanceando la vida de muchas responsabilidades, ¿no? Para sostener la familia, pero también de estar presente a tus hijas. ¿Cómo logras esto?
Ok, bueno, tengo un trabajo actual, en mis tiempos libres yo trato de estar al 100 con mis hijas. No quiero decir que ha sido fácil, pero tampoco imposible, sí se puede. Entonces tratamos de estar unidas las tres Eso es lo más importante.
Sarai dice que ella siempre ha trabajado. She said that she's always had to work as to sustain the family. And at the same time, every time they have time off, this is a time dedicated 100% to be that team of three, she said. And one as a parent learns to maximize those together moments to make the best out of them, because that's life.
That's beautiful. I love that concept of the team of three. We have, Aida, we are very aware of the programming inside of the House of Peace, and there's some beautiful artwork we have to share. That's a product of some of the individuals and the women that we're working with and their children. Just beautiful representations of the ministry of your work and the hope and dreams that come out in this beautiful artistry. So we're sharing that with our viewers right now.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I just wanted to say that basically the House of Peace is an intentional community, faith-based. And you can see this translated in these beautiful art expressions where women really, under the guidance of our art teacher, are able to put in forms and shapes and in colors, this process of transformation. So it's a very beautiful visual way of talking about the program and contemplating.
And Aida, could you please ask Sarah if faith has played a role in her recovery process, and if so, how?
Of course. Saraí, Katie pregunta el rol que ha tomado la fe en tu vida, en tu recuperación de la violencia doméstica. ¿Qué rol ha cumplido tu fe?
¿Me podría repetir la pregunta?
Sí, Katie pregunta qué rol ha cumplido tu fe en tu recuperación de la violencia doméstica.
¿Qué rol ha cumplido mi fe en la violencia doméstica? Bueno, la fe para mí es pues ver que yo ya no estoy en abuso, que mis hijas están más tranquilas, que hasta hoy día hemos podido superar con mucho trabajo todo esto, pero tengo fe en que todo va a cambiar y vamos a estar mucho mejor de lo que estamos ahora.
Tu fe en Dios, ¿qué rol cumplió durante la Casa de la Paz?
Mi fe en Dios, ¿qué rol cumplió? Pues eso, cambiar nuestras vidas, que vivimos en una comunidad mejor, más tranquila, sin violencia y con ayuda sobre todo de ustedes, de Casa de la Paz.
She said that her faith has always been part of who she is, and that her faith has allowed her to change. So to change from the life that she was living to a life without violence. That's a powerful, transformative force. And the importance of having a community of faith that support that change. It's very important. And House of Peace has been that community for Sarai.
Well, thank you so much, Aida, for being on the show. And your clients are so fortunate to have you advocating for them. You're a beautiful soul. And Sarah, thank you too. And Aida, please be sure to, continue to share that with us, for sharing your very heartfelt experiences with us. What a brave person you are. We extend our very best wishes to you and your family for as much happiness and all the future holds for you. We want to remind everyone that our House of Good Shepherd in Cook County is Catholic Charities' other transitional house in addition to the House of Peace. It's a residence for domestic violence, victims of domestic violence. That phone number is 773-935-3434 or visit CatholicCharities.net for more.
And we also want to give the general domestic violence care coordination number at Catholic Charities. That's 312-655-7106. And of course, the House of Peace number, where Aida is the program director, That phone number is 224-430-4977. That's in Lake County. And again, the House of Good Shepherd that Phil mentioned is in Cook County. I too thank you, Aida and Sarahi, for your testimony today. Thank you so much for being on the show, and we wish you all the best, Sarahi, and all the future holds for you. We also thank all of you for tuning in again today for The Voice of Charity. This is Katie Bredemann with Phil Zepeda, and again, we thank you for tuning in and believing in the mission of Catholic Charities.